hurt himself by his testimony. That was the reaction of the members. But I hate to start demagoguing this thing and grading people's performances. I happen to...
Normal as a congressional hearing, and according to Frank, it starts with tougher penalties. Thursday's hearing revealed a loophole in baseball's steroid policy that if an offender takes a fine instead of a suspension, his name would not be released to the public. Thomas said that simply won't work.
I'm for suspension.
Frank will join Curt Schilling and likely 3 other major leaguers on a task force.
National Murderers Row on hand. Curt Schilling, Rafael Palmeiro, McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Jose Canseco front and center, with Frank Thomas joining the proceeding via satellite. An emotional McGuire was among the most anticipated speakers of the day.
If I was going to question this, I would have questioned you.
First and foremost, my heart goes out to every parent whose son or daughter were victims of steroid use. I hope that these hearings can prevent other families from suffering.
When I decided to write my life story, I was aware that what I revealed about myself and the game I played for a majority of my life would create a stir in the athletic world.
Let me start by telling you this. I have never used steroids, period. I do not know how to say it any more clearly than that. Never.
I've been a Major League Baseball player for 15 years, and throughout my career, I have never, ever used steroids.
Everything I heard about steroids and human growth hormones is that they are very bad for you, even lethal. I would never put anything dangerous like that in my body, nor would I encourage other people to use illegal performance-enhancing drugs. To be clear, I have never taken illegal performance-enhancing drugs. I have never injected myself or had anyone inject me with anything.
I will use whatever influence and popularity that I have to discourage young athletes from taking any drug that is not recommended by a doctor. What I will not do, however, is participate in naming names and implicating my friends and teammates.
Mark McGuire's testimony left a lot to be desired. His constant ducking of questions has many wondering about his past. Thomas chose to sidestep that issue.
I really don't want to get into that.
First, I hope the committee recognizes the danger of possibly glorifying the so-called author scheduled to testify today, or by indirectly assisting him to sell more books through his claim that what he was doing is somehow good for this country or the game of baseball. A book which devotes hundreds of pages to glorifying steroid usage and which contends that steroid usage is justified and will be the norm in the country in several years is a disgrace, was written irresponsibly and sends exactly the opposite message that needs to be sent to kids. The allegations made in that book, the attempts to smear the names of players, both past and present, having been made by one who for years vehemently denied steroid use, should be seen for what they are, an attempt to make money at the expense of others.
Nor do I intend to dignify Mr. Canseco's book. It should be enough that you consider the source of the statements in the book, and that many inconsistencies and contradictions have already been raised.
There is no misunderstanding from my perspective. I will suspend any player who tests positive for an illegal steroid. There will be no exceptions. The union is aware of that, and they accept it.
We always have announced our collective bargaining agreements without language drafted. We have routinely done that for 30 years.
You know,
I mean,
all you do by your answers is make me want to know more about what the hell you do. Because when you announce a policy and you tell us, you have not been responsive to our staff, and the bottom line is, no, you haven't been. And the bottom line is we had to subpoena this information. Then when we get this information, you're telling us that what we're looking at is a drafting error. That, to me, is just unbelievable. I'd like to ask you, why should someone have 5 strikes before they're out? I'd like to go right down the list. Why 5 strikes?
Congressman, let me begin by saying...
I'm not going to have you begin. I like the commissioner. Why 5 strikes, Commissioner?
Because that's the negotiated policy right now, Congressman. That's the best we could do in collective bargaining. This is collective bargaining.
So it's the player's fault?
I didn't say it's the player's fault.
No, because I want to know your position. Is your position 1 strike and you're out?
No, it isn't, but the penalties would be much tougher if I had my way as I did in the minor league.
Let's not blame the players then a second. collective bargaining. I want to know
I'm not
why.
blaming the player.
I want to know why you need 5 strikes and you're out.
I wouldn't.
want to know why you can break the law once, break the law twice, break the law 3 times, break the law 4 times, and then you're out. Could someone else, Mr. Fear, maybe you could tell me because you represent the players.
2 things. First of all, the notion of progressive discipline is well ingrained in collective bargaining agreements in this country and has been for
Even
years.
when you break the law?
It has been for years, yes.